Well, hello, Leo rising. How's Venus retrograde been for you in your first house of identity and self? Has it been a rebranding? Has it been interesting? I would love to know. So let's get into September, okay? Mars entered Libra on August 27th. This is going to be your, I want to make sure I'm saying it right because I need to look at the chart. Third house of communication, thought processes, how you do things, how you learn, how you listen, how you speak. Okay. That's where Mars is going to be putting action and energy. So think social activities for sure, maybe a lot of communicating with the outer world in some way or learning something new with Mars and Libra. Mars is action, Libra's other people. So that's why I say in the third house of communication, it could be communicating with other people. I mean, that kind of, you kind of have to communicate with other people if you're communicating in general, right? But Libra does indicate relationships being a theme with that area. Local community is also a third house thing, and siblings. So Mars can be frustration as well. Just keep that in mind. So make sure you have your lists, things to do in that way. 30th, which is today, it's Wednesday, is the full moon in Pisces with Saturn. Now, Pisces is your eighth house of shared resources, investments, boundaries, grants. It's other people's money. It's shared resources. Okay. So you think grants, loans, debts, taxes, any money that's not yours. It could be money that comes to you, but not money that you work for. That's the eighth house. Therefore, the eighth house is empowerment or disempowerment as well. Because if you have a contract, which is an eighth house topic, contracts with someone, and the terms are unfair, you're going to feel disempowered, right? Like someone's holding something over your head. That's where Saturn is. It's encouraging you to have strong boundaries, to invest wisely, to invest in your dreams, to invest in your creativity. That's a Pisces thing. So there could be obstacles though. With Saturn, it wouldn't be mastery if we didn't have to master it, right? So we have to master this area. Now, the opposite area is the second house of finances. That's where Mercury retrograde is for you. Yay. Isn't that fun? Have Mercury retrograde in your second house, especially if it's Virgo, because you care about it, right? And you want to get very clear on where your money is coming from and going. With a Mercury retrograde here, it's definitely a time to get organized with it, to allocate a budget, to do it the right way, to take a microscope to it and figure it out. And the full moon in Pisces is about shining a light on maybe that specific situation, how you can do it differently. You know you're doing it for the right reasons. That's the Pisces part. You know you're doing the thing you need to be doing, but there is a situation which you have to rethink the financial part of it in some way and how you can go about it differently or what needs to change in order to make it successful. Now, Friday, the moon's in Aries, opposite Mars. So Aries is your ninth house of travel and truth and philosophy. It opposes Mars in your third house of listening and communicating. And so this could be a moment where you get into like a religious argument with someone or something like that, because that axis can lend itself to that. But importantly, it squares your sixth and 12th house axis, and that is health and daily life and routine. And I think this is really about getting into a rhythm. On the third, you've got Venus direct. Yay, that is in your first house of self. All the rebranding you've been doing, it's time to take it forward now, okay? And I like it. I'm excited about that. But the moon will be in Taurus. Taurus is your 10th house of career, achievement, and public reputation. And these two things are in tension. Who do I want to be? What does my heart tell me to do? What is my achievement? And like the rules say that I need to be out in the outer world. That's kind of the 10th house. These two things adjusting around each other. So the moon will be there and lighting up that square. 10th house, first house, identity and self versus career and public reputation, and how the two can work around each other and shift and change to get the result that you want. Now, the 4th, September 4th, is Mercury retrograde, trine Jupiter. Now, Mercury retrograde is in your second house of finances, trine Jupiter in your 10th house of career. I like it for that whole week. Now, does it expand the retrogradiness of Mercury? Possibly. We can't say things won't go wrong. It's Mercury retrograde. Does it support us by showing us how it is messed up? Yes. Jupiter is the truth. The trine is supportive. You're going to get a situation, even if things go wrong, it's going to be fortunate that it goes wrong so you can figure it out now. That's the whole point. So don't fret. Don't, just trust. Let that trine of Jupiter work, man. It's supportive. Jupiter is in your 10th house of career. You know, you may be like, I don't want to work. I want to go to a normal 9 to 5 job, and you get offered this really, you know, bougie one, and you're like, dang, that's a lot of money, but that's not what I want to do. But I need the money. And maybe you take it. And maybe that allows you the room to do something else that you really want to do. So it's fluid. I mean, that is the whole nature of Mercury retrograde. It's rethinking, it's reorganizing. How can we do this differently and still get what we want? Jupiter. Okay. How can we still grow the plant that we want to plant if we can't have it in the pot that we wanted it in, basically? So think about it that way. Now, Moon in Cancer on the 7th. Cancer is going to be your 12th house of retreat and reflection. And it's going to square Mars in your 3rd house of mental processes. So that could be a little disconcerting around the 7th and 8th, a little emotional. The sun is trine Jupiter, very same energy as Mercury retrograde trine Jupiter, Mercury Cazimi on the 6th trine Jupiter, and then sun trine Jupiter. That whole week is basically the sun and Mercury retrograde trine Jupiter. The 6th gives you a message. The 7th and 8th allows you to embody it, okay? And maybe just be careful about doing extra, right? Because that is in your 2nd house of finances to your 10th house of career. Don't spend a bunch of money on the 7th and 8th, like buying into an MLM, okay? That kind of a thing. Now, the moon's in Leo, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's going to light up the Venus retrograde, or now direct stuff for you. So that's going to be 1st house self on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And again, seeing this calendar helps you understand that all of the fixed signs are square. So moon in Taurus, moon in Leo, moon in Scorpio, moon in Aquarius every Sunday. That's all going to light up your financial and creative axis and your goals and your networking axis, okay? So the moon in Leo on the 10th is your 1st house of self, all through the 11th and 12th. And how that interacts with your career, your achievement, your money, your assets, your values. How does all that interact together? Not your money, I'm sorry. Your career, achievement, your identity, yourself. And then if you look at Scorpio and Aquarius, Scorpio is your 4th house of home and family. Aquarius is your 7th house of relationships. So basically you've got the moon and fixed signs will be on your angles. That's what they call it. It's the very core of who you are. Me and my identity, my career, myself, and my public reputation, what achievement means, my relationships, and my home and family. Okay, all of that. Now on the 17th is, I'm sorry, I'm skipping the new moon. Trying to get these done faster than normal. Mercury retrograde, sorry. Okay, so the 14th is the new moon in Virgo. The new moon in Virgo in your 2nd house of finances, with Mercury going direct. I think this is good. Not only is it good, the new moon in Virgo, which you're planting seeds for this financial whatever, and for your values and for your comfort. The 2nd house is about comfort and self-worth, all of this. Not only are you getting a cue to move forward from Mercury direct, but you're getting a trine to Uranus, which is change, it's freedom, it's innovation. And that is going to be in your 10th house of career. So, I mean, all of this is really boding well for a change that equals more financial security and stability. But you have to use the Mercury retrograde now to rework that area and figure out, okay, what's my budget? What do I want to allocate money to? How do I want to save money? How can I make this work this way? Then the new moon in Virgo comes, there's a change, and you're moving forward with the money, okay? Now, 15th and 16th moon in Libra, that is your 3rd house of communication. It's going to square Mars. I'm sorry, not square Mars, meet Mars, conjoin Mars, and put a lot of energy into the communication thought process. It's a busy, busy time, maybe even social time, kind of emotional. Moon and Mars, always emotional. The 17th with the moon in Scorpio, again, Scorpio is your home and family and emotional security. It's going to square Venus and oppose Jupiter, which are square. Okay. So Venus in your first house of identity and self, Jupiter in your 10th house of career, 4th house, home and family. The moon's there, and you're going to be thinking about what all of these implications are for your home and family. And if we look at it, Venus and Leo, the sun's in Virgo, Mercury's in the 2nd house, and it probably will have a lot to do with money. Maybe that's going to go direct though. You know, Mercury is going direct in that area. So maybe it's about how that situation has changed and the money is actually coming in now. Or how you could spend differently or downsize your home. There's lots of different possibilities, right? The point is think outside the box. The new moon in Virgo is trine Uranus. That's thinking outside the box. The 19th, the sun opposes Neptune. That is going to be sun in your 2nd house of finances, Neptune in your 8th house of debts, inheritance, taxes, shared resources, all that. Could be a little bit of a foggy day. Don't let it get you too down. It'll be gone quick. Then the 20th is the moon in Sagittarius. That's going to be your 5th house of creativity, fun, and romance. It will square, and also children. It will square Saturn in your 8th house of shared resources, debt, and inheritance. That could be a little bit of a icky time, especially the 20th. Maybe not the 21st, because it will eventually trine Venus, which is going to be nice, indicating that you yourself are somehow fixing whatever may come up, if anything even does come up. Moon in Capricorn on the 22nd, which leads us into the 23rd, when the sun will move into Libra and it'd be equal day and night. And that is your 3rd house of communication, thought process, short trips, and the way you just go about everyday life. So the sun moves into that place. The moon in Capricorn is in your 6th house of health and daily life, and it's going to square Mars the same day. So it's probably going to be a lot of you scrambling, if I had to guess. Not to fear, never fear. You know, there could be some scrambling going on about how you have to do all these things and take the kid to practice and, you know, also go make the money and do all the stuff. It's just going to be the way it is. It will be brief on the 23rd. The 24th, the moon's in Aquarius, which is your 7th house of relationships. It's going to interact with all of the Venus and Jupiter stuff. 1st house of self, 10th house career. 26th, moon moves into Pisces. That is your 8th house of shared resources and other people's money. Don't forget that can include grants and loans. So, of course, moon transits are brief. The 28th, Venus squares Uranus for the 3rd and final time from your 1st house of self to your 10th house of career. I think this one's good. I think it's opportunity. Take advantage of innovation and change and just move with it. The 29th is the full moon in Aries. That is going to be your 9th house of truth, belief, higher education, teaching, and exploration and travel and all this good stuff. That full moon in Aries is unaspected. It's answering to Mars in Libra, which is actually answering to Venus in Leo, which is yourself and the rebranding you're doing and how you're working on your identity. All right. Any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer if I can. If you want to book a session, it's ecstaticastrology.com. I will catch you on the flip side for October. All right. See y'all then.